Hello, my name is Tylluan Penry. I'm a solitary pagan witch and founder of the Wolf and Howl Press. I'm going to talk to you today again about the sort of things that go into your Book of Shadows or magical journal, whichever you like to call it. The last talk I did told you a little bit about how we need to examine these proverbs because sometimes they're very enchanting, they're very attractive, and then when you actually sit down and think about them, they need modification. They're not going to work as they stand. And this is all part of the spiritual path and the way we grow. The one I'm going to talk about to you today is one that has stood me in good stead over the years, and it has come from an 18th century portrait painter. Now, I think this could have been Joshua Reynolds or Thomas Lawrence or somebody like that. I'm not quite sure. But the saying was, know what you are about. And it's very, very true. It's great advice. And every year I always write it somewhere in my new magical journal just to remind me that I need to know what I'm about. When I was young, people didn't talk quite as freely as they do now about pagan paths and magic and the occult and esoteric topics. Not the way they do now. And if you did try to bring it into a conversation, you would often be told, oh, you shouldn't dabble. And this used to really annoy me. But actually there is some truth in it. It's not entirely bad advice, you know. We don't dabble with rewiring the house, and we wouldn't dabble, I hope, with digging up the main drain. And a lot of problems have been caused when people tackle jobs, DIY, what have you, that they really aren't equipped to deal with. Oh, wait a minute. Just like the last one, the clock is chiming. Right, okay, that's gone. So it is good advice. You know, you don't dabble. In fact, what you should do is know what you're about. So before you start anything like casting spells or what have you, you should know what you're about. If you can hear a strange sound, by the way, this is my dogs. They're fast asleep in the kitchen all around me. You can't see them, but they're here and they're asleep and they're snoring gently. So, if you're doing a spell, if you're exploring some new theory or what have you, you owe it to yourself to find out as much as you possibly can about it before you act. Because it's always easier to do the preparatory work than it is to do a clean-up afterwards. Believe me, if you've ever had to clean up a magical mess, you don't want to do it unnecessarily. So, this is one maxim I can heartily recommend to you, and please feel free to use it. Know what you are about. This is only a very short little talk, but I hope you've enjoyed it, and thank you for listening. Goodbye.